Hello everyone, how's it going? It's your boy Skilled Fawn. Today we're going to be doing a Toy Soldiers Cold War Challenge run. This is a old game on the 360, strategy game that I used to play. Figured why not do a challenge run on it. So yeah, let's get straight on into the rules. So we are going to be doing no upgrades to turrets. This is indicated by just the one next to the turret name. I gotta beat the main game. I gotta beat the DLC. So that's Evil Empire and Napalm. Barrages are allowed and hard difficulty. There's a few other difficulty options, but I'm just gonna be doing hard. And yeah, this is we got 3 campaigns. There is a like survival mode which I could have done extra, maybe just like try and survive like to like a certain round or something. But anyways, we're launching straight into the first mission, and we had a few sections that are just basically like tutorial areas. And yeah, so it's just showing us what the whole game's about. Got the toy box, and we got a bunch of like turret placement areas, and you get a bunch of like vehicles. They're very fun to use. On this specific level, there's like a hind or a helicopter that you can use. But yeah, like tanks, fighter jets, bunch of things. You can see in the top left, uh 15 is the toy box health, and then you got the amount of money that I own. And then lastly is the barrage that I currently have. So yeah, we got the AC-130, and you can get an assortment of barrages. There's one where you can become Rambo. There's one where it like fires artillery. There's a barrage B-52 run. Uh, yeah, it's pretty fun using all of them. I definitely think like either the AC-130 or the nuke the best. But yeah, I'm just trying to take out all these fighter jets. There's usually a bunch that spawn whenever there's a wave of one. And like even though I do have anti-air guns, they are quite bad. Gonna repair them, make sure all the turrets are pretty good. For some reason that top right one is like bugged out, so I just couldn't even click on it. Yeah, we're gonna call in the AC-130 and just start wailing on the boss. Usually the boss fights have 4 stages, and like the last stage is them just like kamikazing towards the toy box. But yeah, while this is going on, quickly mention how there was another toy soldier game that came out after this one, and I think it was called like Warbox or something. And it was actually quite fun when it first came out, because you could play as like Ezio, like He-Man, and like a bunch of different factions. But I forget what happened, but I either like uninstalled it, or um like I just loaded in one day and you just couldn't even play it anymore. It was broken. I don't even know why it was being sold on the marketplace. And like I went to the reviews for that game too, and like that's what everyone else was saying. Kind of unfortunate, because like I said, it was fun. Definitely a lot of stuff you could do with that game. They haven't even brought in the original toy soldiers or this one to the 1/X and S. Yeah, we're playing as Rambo. We're in the second mission now, and the missions keep amping up, getting harder, but also more fun. Besides maybe the last mission that was actual hell. Yeah, that was the one thing that I noticed was there's definitely a lot of maps that were easy, but there were some maps that just had like a massive jump where if you were just not paying attention or you just didn't do something precisely, you're probably gonna lose. Especially with like the amount of damage I'm dealing, kinda quite tough. So yeah, you're gonna see me mostly just using like the machine gun turrets, the anti-tank, the artillery, and then the AA guns. I'm not really gonna use the gas or the mortars, just because the machine gun's good enough for that. Uh, Kind of interesting that they have like 3 turrets for the infantry. I mean, I'm sure you know can use the mortars for the turret or the tanks, but I don't know, it's just not really gonna work out as well. Yeah, we're gonna take out the last tank, and that's the second mission complete. And yeah, I mean, we still have a long way to go, but I mean, just the mechanics and I don't know, just getting back in the game, it's really fun. Yeah, they definitely put like I don't know, they definitely had a lot of fun with this game. Um, like you'll see on some of the maps, there's just like random things on the side. Uh, because like it's almost like you know you're looking down on someone, and this is like their whole you know battle that's going on in their mind. So you'll see like a cigar, or like just you know some random stuff. In like most of the environment, not like all of it is destructible. We got the tactical nuke. We're gonna call it in. Got that 25 kill streak. Boom, just like that. And I mean, I could have saved the infantry super easy to take care of, but it was nice to cycle through, and I ended up getting another one. So on the last wave, I figured let's use it. This area would be uninhabitable for a very long time. But yeah, we're gonna take the choppa and just take out the last guys. And yeah, I mean, uh, some of these ones are simple just because you have one toy box, and some of the other ones there's like one toy box, 2 toy boxes, even like 3. I think one of the very last missions, or it may have been the DLC, there's like 3, and like the enemies can pretty much come from like anywhere around the edge. It's just very tough. But yeah, these missions are really cool. Um, they definitely put a lot of effort. Yeah, we're gonna start in the tank. You see that the enemy actually has turrets already set up. You'll see later on too in some of the missions they'll have a lot more turrets, and like sometimes you won't even, or you'll even like have 1 or 2 build slots. Just have to destroy their side. Yeah, we got the medium tanks and then the troop transport, and the next wave is like the super heavy tanks, which those ones suck. But I also use the artillery barrage, and this is hands down one of the worst barrages. I think like every other one is way more effective. I I wanted to try and get at least on most of the missions like a pretty flawless record. were definitely some of the maps that I did really, or like I let in like a few guys, and then there were some that I just let in way too many. Like maybe the last mission that was very tough. You'll see why. Yeah, kind of nice, but sometimes they'll take like a 2-second break right before they're about to enter the toy box, so very easy to just put a few shots into them. Yeah, this orbital laser is terrible for air units, which, and I guess makes sense, but I feel like it still should hit them. And yeah, these anti-air guns are terrible. Usually, if they're like focusing on one guy or maybe like two, and they're not all on like three separate ones, they'll take them out pretty quickly. But yeah, usually if they go for separate ones, it's gonna take a while. And yeah, we got another mission down. Got a pretty decent score. And we're gonna head on into the next one. This one's a bit more fun just because they come like pretty much from these two like bridges that you can just put your artillery over. And like further back you can put another set of artillery. And this map too, I actually got a few barrages. You can see there, I could have gotten another one, but I did have the B-52 in my belt, so I had to use it. But you always get a ton of score when you get multi-kills like that. Yeah, usually whenever I get the like launch wave for the next one, I can and I will just launch it because you get more score that way. And like, I mean, unless it's like a super like heavy armor round, it's better to go quick. But yeah, I did lose a few guys to the toy box. It's always casualties in war, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm just gearing up for this final assault. The troop transports. These guys are beefy. Once they get the troops out, though, they are much easier to kill. But they're also deploying the troops to have rocket launchers. So it's even worse. They just melt through my turrets. But yeah, it's so fun just whipping in a turret and just start mowing them down. It is definitely a lot more fun, like, if you actually did upgrade the turrets, because they get, like, very over the top but fun. Like, I think or if you play as the Russian side and you fully upgrade the artillery, it's actually like a nuke. Like a massive missile. But yeah, we're gonna make do with what we got, and we're gonna do it without leveling up the turrets. So that time, fortunately, the money saved was very poor. But that was probably the first hiccup of the run. Uh, like some of the maps were not easy going as other ones. I think this map was probably the more like fun one out of like the whole campaigns. Uh, it's always fun when you have attack helo, but it's even more fun just like having to defend in a circle in the especially the later waves that are coming down every street pretty much. You can see on the wave list, we've got just a ton of troops, and they're all being shuttled in via the planes. So we're just gonna launch them and just make sure we got a bunch of infantry turrets. Then later on, I did place a few anti-tank. I think I actually put more anti-tank than infantry. Just because at that point there was a lot more tanks. But yeah, we got the AC-130, very worthwhile. That'll help to save my butt if they ever get too close. Except for, you know, the final wave when it sends the toughest tanks to come at me from all sides. You can see like 16 rockets or however many I fired there. Just didn't even fully kill them. But yeah, luckily we do have this helicopter. I don't know what I would do without this helicopter. Maybe that would be a fun challenge. I don't know if you guys would like to see that, but maybe like no vehicles and barrages. But if you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. Yeah, we got a few turrets down, unfortunately. I was just trying to get the refill in the rockets before it dipped. Just so, do a lot more damage. Yeah, there we go. Another mission down. Another piece of cake. That cake was delicious. Yeah, the next one is on a boat. Kind of fun, or I guess I should say a aircraft carrier. But the missions with the boss fights are the most memorable ones. Like that intro mission, and then this one, and then I think just the end mission is all for the main game. But yeah, and then the DLCs, there's just one at the end. So the DLC ones were, I'd say, cooler overall. It was like a tank, and then like an old plane. But yeah, in this specific map, we get a fighter jet, and the fighter jet is very good for the air units. That was one thing that I was having trouble with, was I just didn't have the DPS. Even like just for the non troop transports, because the transports do have a ton of health. They're similar to the troop transports, like the tanks, slash like BTRs, just because they, whenever they release the troops, they'll actually like lose the health of those troops. It just makes them easier to shoot down. So once again, I'm just going to place more anti-tank stuff just because, I mean, most likely they're not going to have more tanks, but I'd much rather be on the safe side. Usually with one turret, it just gets the job done. Very close to the last round. Got one wave left. Gonna place some napalm down. Yeah, we got the submarine. You can see just how good this thing has for damage. Like, it's insane. But yeah, this submarine does have a AA gun of its own to shoot me down, so I'm just trying to be very careful. I'm pretty sure you can actually just destroy the AA gun so it doesn't shoot you anymore. That's kind of one cool thing with this game is most of the like stuff on the boss, if it like shoots you, you can destroy it, so it'll stop doing it. I think yeah, the Russian DLC, there's like an American tank that you have to fight. And it's got these two massive like chain guns on them that shoot down the air units. Yeah, we're on to the next stage now, closing in to the final stage. And final stage is usually where they just bomb rush to the actual box. You just gotta be very careful and just make sure they're gonzoed. And I think on this specific mission, it just launches a nuke at the toy box because it can't climb up there. But I'm not too sure on that one. Yeah, we got Deadly Dunes next. This mission definitely had a ton of infantry and then helicopters. There were tanks, but there was not too many of them besides like some of the later rounds. Mostly like fighter jets, just a ton of helicopters. And now I'm just trying to get the barrage. Usually if there's a ton of infantry on a map, I'm just gonna try and get a barrage at least like a few times during those rounds and just hold it. Or if not, just like, I don't get rid of it. Just try and cycle through another one. Yeah, I did get Rambo. They spawned another wave. I was like, alright, let's get 100. See how high I can get this. But then, like, alright, I don't want to restart this, so I'm just gonna place the turrets in the back. And yeah, this is probably one of the, like, biggest, like, problems with this challenge run is on, like, some of these bigger maps where the turrets aren't going to be able to reach that far. They're just going to get a lot closer and absolutely melt my like smaller turrets, and it's just going to be a whole conundrum. You'll see later on what I'm talking about, especially on the last map. But yeah, Rambo's just too OP. He can reload and shoot his rocket launcher in like 0.2 seconds. I don't know the actual time, but it truly seems that way. Yeah, another perfect run, except for, you know, the Prophet. Very curious, like, if people do that with, like, just not even spending money. Gosh, now that would be a challenge. I don't... If I did do that, it would definitely have to be on easy. I don't think do it on normal or hard. It'd just be actually insane. Insane in the membrane. But yeah, this is a map where the enemy has turrets, and they have artillery like, very far off. It actually ended up destroying a few of my turrets. I didn't notice until it actually did the deed. Yeah, we get the commando unit from the barrage, and like, alright, well, let's just activate it, just because I do not want to lose any troops going inside. And then I figured this way too, we can just easily melt down that turret emplacement. Yeah, he's got some funny quips, but yeah, I did accidentally let one go through, I guess they destroyed my turret. They do have those rockets. Yeah, the rocket infantry just melt your turrets. It's just not even fair. Yeah, this is like the toughest tanks in the game. They're these laser tanks, and they will destroy your turrets in like 3 shots just because they do massive like bleed effect almost. So if you want to actually like keep your turrets, you're gonna have to constantly repair them. I figured let's deal with one problem first. Let's just take care of the infantry and take care of the tanks afterwards. I'm just trying to buy time just so once I get my tank, my turrets will be fine to just hold their own. And yeah, like when 2 of them are shooting at the same target, it's just gonna get melted. And it takes like at least 5+ shots just to actually destroy one of these things. Yeah, and some of the later missions, it's like 4 of those come out, sometimes 6. Like it's actually insane. But you are able to use one later in the DLC. Actually, like the very, very last mission of the game overall. We got Monumental Defense. This is, I think, one of the last main game missions. And this one's pretty cool just because you don't get both of your turrets, or sorry, not your turrets, your vehicles right away. There's actually a helipad on the other side, and once you take out the turrets on that side, you'll get the helicopter. But yeah, I'm gonna spawn Rambo and just melt these tanks. These specific tanks have just way too much health, and they melt your turrets with ease. So I figured just try and just launch all of the tanks while I'm out here with Rambo and just eliminate them. And yeah, it's pretty crazy because Rambo is taller than the tanks. Quite funny. Probably as tall as the helicopter. But yeah, just 2 tanks left, and my first one there was pretty weak. Now we're just gonna spam this last one. Artillery on both sides is gonna help massively. Yeah, just like that. Another mission in the belt. We're gonna keep on progressing, and this time I actually got platinum on a mission. I don't think I've ever gotten that in this game before. Yeah, I was quite happy. And on to the final mission. And I mentioned a few times the beginning of this run, or at the beginning and the course of this run, just how difficult this mission was. And I went through a lot of trial and error, figuring out what worked, what didn't, uh, what I need to improve upon, what things like were in my like reach and out of limit. Yeah, one thing I did just quickly learn was the first wave you're just always gonna get a barrage super easily, so just take that. And then if you don't like it, just like pop it and then get another one the next wave. Yeah, I did end up getting the artillery, so F that. And yeah, this is where things started to go really, really poorly. Was this one wave, there's a ton of these tanks, and I mean, they don't have like a ton of health, but they have enough health where you just can't one-shot them, or like, I mean, maybe it takes like 3 or 4 shots. And like the turrets are absolutely dog water. They won't even destroy them at all. So it's basically me having to be 2 places at once. And that was just not working out. So I needed to actually come up with something. But luckily I got the AC-130. I think that was definitely a big help. Um, but mostly I just figured out that if I can just focus on one side, that'll delay it enough where I can just focus on the other one and then whip back and forth. Because I am gonna have to, I mean, be at 2 places at once. No, it's basically impossible. This mission, given the parameters of this challenge run, is just it was pretty difficult, and just I don't think I could have gotten it with 10 lives left. It was just that crazy. Yeah, there's 2 of these things back to back. Oh, another round of it. I mean, it maybe would have been smarter to do like the artilleries on the side and just have them face the toy box, but um, I mean, I wasn't sure like how much damage they would actually do if they would kill them. So, I don't know. I just figured we'll just keep the RPG guys on the side. They'll be good for once, just during like the normal waves when they're just pouring through there. Yeah, now we're getting to the final wave, and very cool. I love whenever there's boss fights in this. I love boss fights just in general. I think that's one reason I just love Soulsborne games, is they do bosses right in those games, and in like Toy Soldiers, especially Cold War, they do bosses very well for the type of game it is. You can see like right now the robot just has one arm, and it's just gonna be strolling on through. Hopefully it doesn't destroy many turrets, but he's not that nice. If you do put the AA guns down, they will actually shoot the boss. And the AA guns have insanely long range, so they can shoot the boss pretty much anywhere on the map. So once I figured that out, I quickly switched everything. Yeah, a few guys did get through, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, basically on to the next stage. The stages, things are gonna get a lot more hectic. It's gonna be moving around a lot more, destroying more of my turrets and placing more guys down. And it has like this massive uh, cannon on its chest that it can shoot like pretty much anywhere. Yeah, I think it should be right about here somewhere. Yeah, he starts placing, or he starts putting out helicopters. So I place a few of the anti-air guns, and I didn't actually think about it, but then I was like, oh, they're actually shooting it. Like I'm gonna put a few more of these down. So yeah, I place a few more turrets down, and then we're gonna You'll see they're basically just all gunning for him. I figured let's put the fourth one. Let's get all angles pretty much locked down. This means just like whenever I'm not actually shooting him, like getting damage. And then when I am shooting, it's just extra damage. Yeah, I'm not really worrying about the small turrets as much anymore. I'm just mainly just trying to take him out, because you do take too long, the bosses, like no matter if their health bar, they will just destroy your toy box. So we get to the final stage, and this is where he's just gonna start rushing towards the toy boxes. Thankfully, there are 2 toy boxes, because he actually shreds through the first one, and we were able to get him before able to destroy the second one. But yeah, not the greatest score in the whole world, but we got it done. Yeah, that's the main game, Toy Soldiers Cold War. And we're gonna head on into the DLCs. First up is Evil Empire. This is when we're gonna play as the Russians. There's 3 missions for the DLCs. Also pretty underrated. This game is split screen. It's kind of a missing feature in a lot of these modern games today, but yeah, if you are bored and you have a 360, you're wanting to play with someone, definitely give it a go. It's very fun. This game and the first Toy Soldiers is very different. Eventually I will go and do the first Toy Soldiers. But yeah, on this map there will like always be one like jet slash aircraft just flying around, so I'm gonna have to take that out every round. Yeah, these tanks that they give you just absolutely melt. You can just run over the guys. But yeah, they do have another artillery spot. I did miss that one. Gonna quickly take it out. Especially because this next wave is very tough. But skipping on forward, I get the AC-130. Another one. You can see that literally nothing is able to withstand its damage. Just too powerful. And it lasts a good bit of time. And so eventually we get to the very final wave, where it was a bunch of tanks and then troops. And we're just gonna take out the last guy and beat the mission. And we got the second one. Yeah, I mean, some of these missions I did not have the best score in the whole world, but then yeah, this specific mission was fun for its helicopter that it gives you. It gives you this Hind that's its machine gun has insane fire rate, uh, which is it's like the whatever the Soviets actually use. I'm not sure like that helicopter model, but yeah, we're gonna be ripping the. I think it's an RPK, the gun. We're gonna be shooting that and just trying to build up the barrage, but I don't know if it's either the infantry, if they're like not the weak infantry class, or if it's just how poor this gun's damage is, but it just does not melt them. It takes a very long time to charge up, and I Did end up losing a few guys going into the toy box just because of how bad it is. Also, my turret up there was not doing me any justice. Just kept letting guys going through. Skipping on forward. This is the coolest helicopter in the game, the Hind. Basically like the American's tactical one, but I don't know, at least it feels like the machine gun just shoots way faster. It's almost like a mix of the Americans helicopters. Because the Huey has like a ton of like good damage against infantry, but just lacks in the armor department. And the Apache helicopter is just insane at like tanks because it can lock on. And it's, you know, decent against air units, but it's mostly like tanks, infantry. Yeah, this helicopter was good for pretty much everything, like helicopters, tanks, infantry, whatever. I'm just trying to figure out the best strategy here just because there are 3 of the troop transports. My helicopter's about to run out, so like, alright, let's just focus on the guys that are closest to the toy box and then just take out the rest. Yeah, with just a few guys left, mow them down with the turrets, let the AI do it. Yeah, sometimes the turrets will lag behind and then you'll see them slowly get closer. Quite funny. But yeah, another mission down. We're gonna head on into the 3rd and final for this DLC. And yeah, you can see the boss unit right there. The tank. Good thing and but bad thing is that the DLC is so short. Like, I don't know, at least the main game, it felt like it was a bit dragged out. But the DLC was just like the perfect length. Like each mission is about like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 15 if you're quick, but yeah, just hopping in the fighter jet, just mowing the turrets down. We get every vehicle that the Russians have. Fortunately, though, we don't get the good helicopter that we had last time. This is definitely like a pure infantry helicopter. I mean, it wasn't bad, uh, like per se against the vehicles, but it didn't lock on and it just sprays the rockets very randomly, so it was not at all accurate. Yeah, just placing the turrets down and we're gonna get set up. Eventually make it all the way to the final boss fight. We got the super tank. Yeah, at first with this tank, kind of funny. I got him to the 3rd stage, and like all bosses, I think all the bosses in this, they have just 4 stages. And like right as he was switching from the 3rd to 4th phase, he was like turning away from the toy box and was about to basically like retreat and go back the way he came, because he does like he basically does a giant circle the entire match and just deploys troops, goes back, stuff. And I got him right as he was like basically right about where he is now, and he just turned around and went straight for the toy box, and I did not have any time to take him out. I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna delay this as much as possible. I'm just trying to focus fire on his anti-air guns, just so I actually can, uh, shoot at him with not taking like too much damage. They're basically, whenever they shoot, they're basically throwing sprinkles at it while I've got like the loaded gun. And yeah, you can just see like how close this was. Like it got so close that he actually destroyed my toy box. Usually, like if the boss destroys your toy box, you just instantly lose. Like I must have been like half a second or like a second away from that screen saying I lost. So quite funny, but I did win that. We're gonna head on into the next DLC, which is Napalm. This is it takes place in Vietnam, I believe, and we're playing as the Americans again. Got a bunch of Hueys shooting down. And this was I would say this mission and then the last mission of the main game were the toughest. Just because in this one there's 2 toy boxes, but you also, or well, you can't place any turrets on the other side of the river, which is like fine, but there's a convoy that comes around and goes to that toy box, so it's just very hard to get the DPS when your artillery is level 1 and has the level 1 range. You can like just barely even reach them. Yeah, one health, not looking too great. But I was at least happy to have survived this point because not too many waves left. But we're just gonna use the uh, thing right now, the barrage. And yeah, these convoy tanks have insane health, even with this barrage. It's taking a good amount of time. If they wanted to do like something with a flamethrower, they could have had like Rambo of the RPG or something. He has a flamethrower on this map. Yeah, we got the final wave while the convoy is approaching. I really don't care about the infantry. I'm just trying to take out the convoy, and I did. Got a few troops left. Take them out, and we get the final DLC, the first mission complete. Now we got Knee Deep. This is I'm pretty sure the only mission with 3 toy boxes in this game. And I mean, surprisingly, I did get it only in 1 try. Thought it might have taken, or I thought it may take like a few more tries, like 2 or 3 to actually beat, but no, it just, whenever, the waves spawn in, just make sure the artillery is rotated the correct way. And, you got the turrets for the right situation. That's why I'm always, having 1 machine gun and usually 2 anti-tank, because the tanks are so much like scarier to worry about. Even though there's, more numbers in the infantry, it's just way harder to get the damage against the tanks. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not sure about. Maybe I'll have to check out and see what happened, but I'm very curious what happened to the studio that made these games. I mean, I think Cold War was the best out of the 3 of them, but the newest one was definitely cool too. Just sucks that you still to this day can't play it and they don't refund you. They must have like went bankrupt or something. I don't know. Down to the final wave. I got 100 times score right there before the helicopter blew up. And yeah, Rambo was just insane. He just does easy damage, moves around like very fast. Love how when he runs too, he basically just like, it's kind of weird. He like sticks when you go uphill. He'll like just stick to the ground, and then he'll do like a Palpatine Vader float down when he's like I don't know, kind of high up. Yeah, pretty good score once again. Yeah, on to the very, very final mission. And if you've stuck around this far, I greatly appreciate you watching. Hope that this has been entertaining and fun. Definitely not something I usually play, and I probably won't do a challenge run unless, you know, you guys really want to. Just fun, like, seeing what's gonna come around, because it's been so long that I don't really remember anything all too well, just besides, like, some of the main game stuff. But yeah, we're just gonna take out all the weak points on this boss, and I think it's cool just to do. I'm not sure if it actually massively helps you or anything, but yeah, end up getting the nuke, which is very good, especially like some of the tough enemies, like the tough tanks that the boss can drop. Yeah, we get that laser tank that I mentioned before. Now this thing is just insane because it does a ton of bleed damage, or like it just constantly is taking down the whatever you shoot. You can just see how much damage it's doing. I mean, I do have some AA fire on top of it, but like, damn. Yeah, just last little bit. The boss is in the 3rd stage. We got tanks. And these are the super tough tanks too, so it's even worse that they gave me Huey. It's just basically meant for infantry. Rockets are terrible. But, I mean, it is damage, even if it's terrible. Hoping that all this, like, little damage will add up, so when the actual infantry, or, sorry, the anti-tank turrets shoot, it'll destroy them. Yeah, I don't think I actually end up getting this last one. Unfortunate. Would like to flawless all of these missions, but I can't get it all. Yeah, we got more troop carriers. And I'm just like, you know, we're just gonna nuke this. I don't really want to have to worry about them because they, like, just absolutely make you waste cash on either repairing or just placing turrets. So, yeah, miss me with that. This is like the turning point where it's right at that stage 3 to 4. But I wanted to make sure that my laser tank was ready to go, and 2, that I did have 3 of the anti-air turrets down. Because yeah, the first time I did this, it just basically went into the toy box and had like liver of health. yeah, it was so disappointing. But ended up getting it, and yeah, this was a very fun challenge run. Toy Soldiers Cold War main game and DLCs, no upgrading of any turrets, and yeah, check out the VOD channel if you haven't. You can see all of the like full missions, and all the streams that I do for this game and other games. I love to do a bunch of Elden Ring stuff. So see, mostly a bunch of Soulsborne stuff, but you'll see stuff like this occasionally. I did Saw and a few other games that I don't normally tend to do. But yeah, thank you guys again. Let me know what you guys thought of this. If you'd like to see another one, or you know, whatever you have on your mind. So, thanks again. Take care. Skilled Fawn out.